Let's first introduce him here. He is 7-8 here at Pro League, 2-4 versus Terran, but once again, just to highlight this, he was a big player in Brudor. He's been playing for such a long time, has huge experience, very respected. You guys see his total Pro League records there, 208 wins, 156 losses, and he's on a three-game winning streak as well.
Yeah, no, this guy is really been on point recently. He loves to cheese, he loves to proxy in this matchup. He's been doing it since the very beginning of his StarCraft 2 career. And up against a Titan like Maru, who's got the Grandmaster logo here, he's 15-8. He is one of our Grandmasters for a reason, and his matchup against Protoss is insane. 9-3. He and TY were like leading the pack on that ever since round 1, and it never really changed.
It's definitely his strongest matchup. He's shown amazing micro tactics, especially against Colossi once before. And I'm really excited to see how he plays on this big map against Stork.
Well, the map is Frost. Big map, like you said, probably going to be seeing late game here. The map is up and loaded already. Samsung has taken the lead. Let's see if Maru can tie it up 1-1.
Up here in the top left in the pink for Samsung Galaxy Con is Stork.
And of course down here at the bottom right, cross spawns on this map in the green for JINAIR. It's Maru and Marine Prince.
And wow, we have some passionate fans in the audience. Just mentioning, just had to mention that. Yeah. It was pretty impressive, the screams we heard.
Yeah. There's a lot of Stork fans here, but also Maru fans as well.
Oh, yeah.
The former Prime player become the ace, really, for JINAIR. And he's been called the best Terran player in the world. And he's proven it time and time again that he very well may be.
He very well may be. He's nothing but impressive in his last year of his career. He's just been playing amazing.
Yeah, and no surprise he comes out on this map. I have to say his stats there were 6-1 for this map, so very strong on this map. I think that said he wants Stork to get better individual results or something like that.
I didn't quite catch it. I was looking at something else, but I
saw individual league and then like one thing, and I saw Stork's name, so I'm like, oh well, I guess.
Well, maybe he wanted him to because he didn't advance actually from the round 16. So I mean, getting the round 16 in itself is a very impressive move for Stork.
That's getting pretty deep. That's very hard to do.
But
still a way to go there.
Yeah, I mean he's definitely no round of 4 Protoss just yet, but honestly I think maybe next season he could be if he keeps getting it, if he continues on his current track. So that's a Maru signed Prime jersey
from 2013 August 10th.
Yeah.
Wow.
Also a peace sign.
Fair enough.
Yeah, so Maru obviously definitely, I think we talked about this a lot, like even in the preseason and in the early parts of round 1. You and I were talking about this. JINAIR got some really sick trades going into this. JINAIR was formerly, if you guys don't know this, the team was managed as Kespa's 8th team, and they had really great players on that team, and then became JINAIR Green Wings. Picked up some really solid players from Kespa's 8, got Maru as well, and that was the big pickup. And picking up Cure as well was a really great one for them. So I feel like that's why we've seen from the start success from them. Well, they have really been preparing well and using a great variety of lineups, which is what I think is pretty interesting about how they play this.
Absolutely. And so far we see a Reaper scout from Maru getting the intel, and an SCV scout at the same time. So he's gonna find out exactly what's going on. He's gonna see a very fast Nexus.
Yeah, just wants to make sure, sends out the extra SCV for the extra scouting information, wants to know for sure that he'll be safe in putting down that CC there. Back for Stork, just went for the gateway expand there, going and canceling that Zealot to get that Nexus up.
Yeah, we see 2 Reapers on the map now, so Maru definitely looking for some harassment, some opportunities here, but a Stork is coming out for Stork.
A Storker is coming out.
A Storker is coming out for Stork.
Yes, it's actually correct jargon to say every stalker that Stork, when you're talking about Stork, is a Storker, because it is true. You don't have to, but it's polite to say.
No, of course.
Now, the Reaper is going to sneak around
etiquette.
here. Yeah, it's basically, essentially, well said, Brendan. The Reaper is going to pop up in here, see what he can get done, scouting-wise. Sees these two pylons are actually pretty close together. Not always the most common way to place your pylons, because that way the Terran knows, okay, there's nothing hidden here. All he needs to do is find the third pylon.
Yeah, or he knows exactly where to scan. I mean, he can scan between these pylons, and he'll find out exactly the kind of tech that's going on.
And this Reaper pops up, checking for the third pylon, finds it, knows there's no proxies, and he's like, wow, Stork, you're pretty brave. You're playing against me, the Marine Prince, with a straight-up game.
Yeah, and he sees the robotics facility going down with that Reaper. Loses the Reaper, but definitely worth it seeing the tech that Stork is going.
Uh-oh, Reactor Factory. Could we see the armory go down? Could Wolf's Theory Craft come to life?
Just maybe.
It might be.
4
but,
Hellions and 1 Medevac. Drop them, they're Hellbats.
I hope we see that. That'd be great to see.
I don't know really how viable that is, especially considering how long it takes to get the armory.
Well,
we could probably have 2 Medevacs anyways, but
maybe,
okay, 8 Hellbats.
8 Hellbats.
Well, we do have the tech lab coming on that barracks. Maybe you want to switch there with the Stargate.
I think
or Starport.
we're seeing a Medivac, so you're almost there. But I'm kind of getting the impression it'll only be Hellions, and we won't be able to see any Hellbats. But wait and see.
Yeah, this is actually pretty unusual regardless. He does start Stim, actually. Not going to be going for Banshee follow-up to this, and which would be pretty crazy. I mean, Hellions and Banshees in this matchup.
Why not?
So he's going to hide these Hellions over here, maybe even wait until he's got the Medevac ready. We'll see how he plans on doing this, because he's got Marines he can also drop.
That's right. It might be kind of like the standard kind of Marine Hellion with the Medivac harassment.
Oh, Reaper distraction into Hellion harassment. Getting some great kills here. Nicely done by Maru. So many kills already.
Yeah. Forcing out the photon overcharge in the natural. This is going to really help out for the next push or the next sort of harassment he's going to choose to do. And it looks like it is going to be a Hellion drop.
Yep. 4 Hellions.
4 Hellions in there. No armory, unfortunately.
No armory.
But, of course, getting 6 kills with those Hellions, so a good trade there. And now the Observer's going to come into the main base, see all these barracks, and know exactly what Maru's going for.
Yeah, he's like, okay, you're not doing any weird mech stuff, right? Okay, I guess not.
No weird mech stuff. Just really hyper-aggressive sort of Marine style that Maru likes to do time and time again.
The Raven was, I don't know if he actually saw the Raven come out, but like, does he may be thinking, oh wow, you might even be following it with Banshees, but if the Observer sees the Raven, then he'll know. This is going to be pretty easy to clean up, especially with a good force field. But he still gets 1 kill, flies over. Oh no!
They all got stuck.
No! Oh my god, we almost saw this earlier, now we actually saw it.
Wow, he took a lot of damage there. That was a horrible mistake from Stork. Yeah, but I mean, he didn't lose all of them, but he did lose a big number of them.
Yeah, I was actually, it wasn't quite clear, how many.
Once they get bunched up there, it's like,
yeah, it could be any number.
Hard to tell.
It could be any number.
But it delays a lot of mining time as well. Forces Stork to multitask a lot, but still, Maru losing a Medevac and 4 Hellions. Not the best trade, but still, some more economic damage.
More economic damage, forces out another photon overcharge, and it makes Sentries use a bunch of their energy.
Yeah,
I mean, all in all, it definitely keeps Stork under pressure.
Yeah.
Not comfortable in any means, and losing some probes on top of that.
Yeah, it keeps him back in his base, and while he's back there in his base, Maru takes a third. He's getting ready to hit his upgrades, and it can, if he's ahead in Harvesters, or even in Harvesters, while he's got a third command center coming up, his economy is going to explode, which could further then unlock one of these timing attacks with the SCV pulls, maybe a triple ghost, lazy boy push, something like that, and that's probably what we'll see here if he can continue to keep this third base up and that tempo advantage that he has right now.
Absolutely, and we see 1 Colossus out so far. And I don't know if he sees that with the scan, but it'd be a pretty big mistake if Stork let Maru know exactly how many Colossus, or even that he has Colossus at the moment.
Yeah. I think he may have actually saw that with that scan. I think it was really, really close.
Right on the edge there.
Yeah, hard to say. Let's see if he decides to start new Vikings anytime soon. second engineering base coming up, armory as well as that, and we'll likely see Viking production start pretty soon.
And we see the factory fly out, so this kind of gives you an idea that he might be looking to be aggressive soon and start trying to distract some of the Stalkers, some of the sentries with this factory flying over the army, and or trying to block something. Just see what he does exactly with it. It's definitely a great scouting tool and great to be aggressive with.
Yeah, we've seen Maru do this time and time again. Once the Protoss tries to take that third base and he goes for Colossi, Maru just splits so well. His micro is amazing. He's been able to snipe Colossi before. I mean, as he does have 2 Colossi right now and probably a third one coming out here soon, it will probably be hard to do, especially on a big map like this, but I've seen Maru do crazier things.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I want to note that Maru intentionally left a lot of his units at home to actually defend against a possible Warp Prism drop, then sent units to check and hold that thought. Oh, good blink forward here, but he's not going to pick off these units.
Wow, very fast reaction from Maru there, getting everyone out just about, except for maybe 1 or 2 Marauders. And he's going to give away his factory, but I guess he sees the army and kind of the composition that Stork is going for. Already has Vikings in production.
Yeah, and starts a second starport just in case, he starts that before the requirement is gone. So we may not even need that second starport, but at least he's got that now in case, suddenly it's like, whoa, there's a lot of Colossi, I need a second starport, and I need to rebuild my factory. So he's got that safety net there with a second starport.
And both players kind of just staying back, building their kind of balls, their death balls, but
building their
almost
balls,
messed that one up. But at the moment, I mean,
not basketballs or any other sorts of round outings.
None of that, guys.
No footballs or basketballs.
But we don't see any Temper archives on the map so far, and Stork is definitely going to have to transition into that soon before there's too many Vikings on the map, and Maru can actually start taking fights and trading really effectively against these Colossus.
Yeah, we're definitely going to go late game here. I'm sure we're going to see the Templar Archives come down soon enough. We're seeing Stork, he has both forges up, and he's chrono boosting out those upgrades a ton out here. He's going to have 3-3 soon, probably going to go for shields afterwards as well.
He's actually adding a lot more gateways. So we might be even just seeing a gateway Colossus timing.
Yeah, with maybe 3-2.
Yeah, a lot of upgrades.
I mean, he's got Charge coming up here, which lines up with it. He can get some Archons in there.
And now we see the Templar Archives, but pretty late.
Yeah.
So what I was thinking. But I think he might have enough time as it is. I mean, only 6 Vikings so far out in the map. And it is cross-map, so it can go very late.
Yep. This pylon spotter is so important. I mean, he loses it costs him 100 minerals, but it's worth 100 minerals if your opponent's going to do more than 100 minerals worth of damage to you.
He's even got 2. He had one out there farther, and then he's got one back there on the ledge. Maru very confident to take that fight if Stork wanted to fight it, but Stork saw that and was like, nope, blinks away.
Yeah, he was just waiting to see if Maru committed or not. Maybe he could blink away, force that stem, or maybe even pick off a medevac if Maru wasn't paying attention. A +3 attack is started here for Stork, but he still hasn't shown any interest in taking a 4th base or starting Psionic Storm. So with that in mind, maybe he still is planning on doing a timing attack with all those extra gateways, or at least trying to push out and do some very heavy-handed pressure at Maru's 3rd.
Some Zealots coming in here, about 4 of them. I think they were warped in by a pylon over there to the left side of the map, but will be cleaned up pretty easily there by Maru. Blue Station Scout coming across, wants to see if the ghosts are out just yet, wants to see how many Vikings he has. Just wants to get a good look at what Maru has right now.
Yep, and I mean, Maru does have about 5 ghosts on the map, or almost 5 ghosts on the map now, so he is prepared. Oh, loses the drop up top.
That hurts.
Ouch. But Maru definitely prepared for the Storm switch, which is happening very, very soon.
Yeah, and based on how many ghosts he's producing and his upgrades he's going with and all the command centers he's making, he's looking like he wants to play late game TVP, which has been a recipe for disaster for many Terrans in the past. But I give Maru an edge here since he's probably the best Terran in the world and really knows what he's doing. And this is cross spawns on the biggest map that we have in the pool right now.
This is kind of a scary push coming up there. Yes. That is a lot of Colossus. That is 6 Colossus.
Really scary, but this is what Maru loves to do. He loves to take little fights before the army is in position, picks off a couple Stalkers there and a Zealot, backs off, but he's got to be in a great position once this comes across. 6 Colossi right now.
Yeah, 6 Colossi, a 7th one even being produced here.
And 3-3 is going to be done. And Storm.
One of the biggest things, he has 11 Vikings, maybe 13 now, but it's going to be entirely about position, and it's going to be entirely about if he can shut down these Colossus before they do too much damage
that
to the
Storm.
army. Oh, that is a huge Storm, and if he gets more Storms like that, it's going to be such an easy fight.
Oh, yeah, certainly. This Archon over here isn't not long for this world, but the Templar definitely making up for it. Nice snipe there on the Observer because Cloak is almost done, and that's going to help him a little bit with those ghosts that he's got, getting in to get those snipes off, get those EMPs that he likes. These command centers are basically just forming tanks, really. And here we go. There's that snipe. And the EMPs that he's got available to him with those Cloak Ghosts. Another EMP goes down. Mothership Core is gone as well. Stork is walking into Viking fire with no support. Storm's way too late. And I think that Maru can actually crush this. He walks through the Storms.
Looks like he has enough. I mean, with some reinforcements, he may be able to. The Vikings still working on those Colossi. And once that last one goes down, he has no more AoE. A ton of Zealots warped in for Stork here, but another EMP goes down. We're going to need some more reinforcements out of Maru here.
Yeah, he certainly does. Eating that storm was, I think, pretty detrimental to him. I think he could have split against that, but he had such confidence to actually fight through the storm.
Yeah, I feel like he kind of threw away his Templar, like, on the ramp there. He was, like, looking for, like, the money storms or something, but at the same time, his army was pulling back. And from there, it kind of like Maru had the opportunity to send in his Vikings unharmed, take down the Colossus while his army fought, and he just didn't take much damage at all, and he could actually trade with the Protoss army.
Yeah.
And from here, there's no Colossus. We only got gateway units and a couple of Templar that have no storm. So this is looking pretty bad for Stork at the moment.
Yeah, it is. It's looking a bit rough, but you know he's taking this supply lead here, and he does have a lot of Templar now out of the back. And the medevac energy not as high as it used to be. Well, let's see actually if Maru's going to be able to take an engagement here. On the high ground, he should be able to take a pretty fairly good one, I would say, because the Zealots on the low ground aren't accomplishing very much. Here comes the first storm, the second storm on top of his own Zealots, and Maru's going to easily push this one back. Not the best engagement we've ever seen from Stork. No.
He has so many Marauders in this mix as well. I mean, the storms were decent, but still just not doing much damage. But he's got to be careful here. The Colossi back, and he's got a couple of Archons in the front to tank. Some nice kiting out of Maru right now. It's really what he needs.
Those Archons are so important here because without those, the Marauders would be able to just do their thing up against those Colossi. Do that Maru Marauder jig. You just go over there and surround the Colossi and get that concave on him. But he only has a few Vikings, so the Archons tanking there at the front, and now he's got a few Ghosts. Those Archons are also bunched up, and EMP would be so money right now. And he gets a few of them. They're not the best, but it hits the Templar. That's important.
Yeah, Templar hit. I think one Archon was hit as well, but still a ton of tanking power in all of these hugely upgraded Zealots and Archons with the shield upgrades, but still more Ghosts come out, and Stork once again is pushed back.
Just too much range DPS when the Zealots aren't there to tank anymore. You know, he's able to start fighting and kiting against these Stalkers and the Archons so well. And here we go, takes out the last of the Colossi, and is going to chase these Zealots down. They're not going home tonight, at least not most of them. A few do escape there, those 5.
Live to tell the tale of their grandchildren.
They're going to go to Stork and say, oh my god, Stork, not only that, but he's about to have +3 armor. Get ready.
And, I mean, that was just too many bad fights from Stork. He never once had such a great positional advantage. He did when he was above the 4th base, but he didn't really take advantage of it, and he kind of threw away a bunch of Templar. And from there, Maru kind of just jumped on him from there. And he knew there wasn't many storms left, so he could just run in and start trading. And from there, he just played more defensively, and Stork kept throwing units up ramps. And from there, Maru just eventually got ahead.
Yeah, I think Stork starts to realize this. One thing that makes me feel that way is because he knows he was killing his own rocks at home, because he was like, you know, what if he attacks me at my own base and I can't get my Zealots down the ramp? This could be like the problem I've already witnessed at your base. I don't want it to happen to me at my own. So I think he's definitely going to realize, like, okay, that those choke points that I'm engaging at, those ramps, are really not favorable for my Zealots right now, and I need to just take a step back, rebuild my Templar count, and get ready for some more storms. Or you know, at least always be on the forefront of what Maru is doing, saying, okay, you're making more Vikings now. No, I switch back and I heavy on the Templar. You know, you lost a lot of Ghosts. Okay, I'm doing Templar, but okay, I killed all your Vikings. Maybe I switch back into Colossi. He's going to be very aware of this and try to use this to his advantage, because that's the way he comes back in this game, with just one engagement where he either has enough Colossi to turn the fight, or if he's got enough storms that hit hard.
Absolutely. It's always about manipulating the death ball to have like an advantageous number of whatever the opponent's lacking, whether it be Vikings or Ghosts. And for now, I mean, there's quite a number of Ghosts and not that many Vikings. I mean, if there was maybe 5 or 6 Colossus on the map, there isn't enough DPS to take them down, and the Colossus will kill all the bio before the Vikings can take them.
Yeah, and after every fight, we're seeing just Stork slowly build up. I think he has 2 robos. He slowly builds up the Colossi count, and he's now up to 5. We do have only 12 of these Vikings here. Have some very nice feedbacks on a lot of those ghosts, though. Maru's still confident to fight here, though, and a big storm on a lot of those Vikings now.
And he's starting to hit a lot of those medevacs, too. They're getting pretty low right now. The Stalker's actually not fighting. They weren't participating there. Now starting to come in. The Archon here at the front to tank, but he has no more Zealots. And there's that Marauder Jig I was talking about. He's going up there on those Colossi. Vikings to help out as well. Is there enough ground army here for Maru? The answer is no. He needs to stop and go back and get some reinforcements.
Wow, and what an engagement from Stork. Absolutely beautiful storms and just enough Colossus to kill most of the bio before the Vikings could take them down.
Oh, yeah. And
Stork is on
those
top of the Vikings.
The feedbacks right in the beginning as well killed like 3 or 4 or even 5 ghosts right off the bat. So not the best EMPs. Storm's really, really good. And good positioning overall.
And he completely reset the Viking count. So from here, if he just starts chronoing out Colossus and lines it up for another timing, he's already got 6 Templar. I mean, all he needs is Colossus and Gateway units now. He could really do some damage.
And that's exactly what he's doing. Starts to make that double Colossi production I was talking about. And Maru knows he has to make something happen. He's going to go for a drop over here. The third base.
Yeah, drop over here. The third actually is going to take him some time to actually unpower this cannon.
But they're on top of him. Wow.
Oh my God.
The Observer in front of the 4th base completely shuts it down.
That was really nicely done. Meanwhile, but over here, this base has been stopped mining, and he's actually just doing this, tennis game where you ping pong between the bases, rather between the low ground and the high ground. And I think he's eventually going to get cornered and killed here, but he's trying to get the most bang for his buck here. Kills a Stalker. Feedback finishes him off.
Sniped. And the earlier medevac that went down in those units, they did decently. And the big thing about that is that they're buying him time. He needs time to get his army account back up. He needs ghosts.
He needs ghosts, he needs Vikings,
yes.
And he needs a lot of bio. I mean, he is down a lot of supply right now.
Yeah, he certainly is. And here we go. These Templar are actually out in the open. That means they could get some good storms, but they could also be sniped or picked off. Here comes the rest of the army to back them up. A lot of Templar with double storms available here. We have 7 Templar in total on the map versus the 5 ghosts. There are only 3 Vikings against 3 Colossi. Not a good ratio here. And Stork looks like he's ready to bear down on this base and end it. The wall from Maru is all he can hide behind. He's going to try to take a position as well on that high ground with a few of his units to maximize his concave.
Nice snipe on the Observer right now. There are 4 on the map, but it doesn't look like there's one with his army. Okay, there is one. He gets it there, and now he's okay to push it once again.
Oh, is he going to get sniped again? Oh, it just goes out of range.
Yep, and meanwhile, Dark Templar are actually starting to go to work over here, while the Zealots are actually going to maybe target down this planetary. They actually stop the SCVs from getting a good surround on here. Good kills on those Templar, and actually with the planetary, he's barely able to get enough surface area of those SCVs to ward the Zealots off. And Maru is trying to claw his way back into this game, but he needs to keep his units away from that Templar with double storms available. Here we go, 1 goes down.
Not the best storm, but still another one available, like you were mentioning. Stork trying to take a good position over there at the 3rd base. He wants to cut off Maru and not allow him to get a concave at the top of the ramp. Yep. Storms are okay.
Beautiful feedbacks.
Feedbacks are great there. That Observer for high ground vision is so important. That's why you see immediately Maru scanned. He's like, how did you see me? And here we go. He's going to try to take an engagement here. I don't know if there's enough ground army to support these Colossi now that the Templar are gone. He's actually pushing back those Colossi, but I think the big story here is there's way too much DPS.
Too many Colossus for the Vikings, and at the same time there was a Zealot onto the planetary. And I think they were just about to take it down. So beautiful play from Stork.
Yeah, he had enough. He had like this looked like there were just not enough ground units on the army for Stork, right? And there's these Vikings shooting, but I mean the Vikings are shooting, but it's taking them too long. The Colossi with their armor, the +3 shields, taking all those shots. They eventually just killed the bio before the Vikings could do their work. The Vikings weren't as upgraded. I think that really hurt Maru, but it was hard for him to afford these upgrades for his Vikings with everything else going on.
It was definitely back and forth the entire game. I mean, we saw Stork take a couple of bad engagements early on. Then Maru, I feel like a big misstep on his part. He went and took that big engagement. Wasn't the best engagement. Got a lot of his ghost feedback here. Cute girl is shy in the audience, but I feel like this is also a big statement out of Samsung and a big leap for them because they have Stork win against Maru, which is a game that almost all of us were predicting for Maru, and now they're up 2-0. They only need 1 more win against JINAIR, which I feel like they were maybe not the underdogs in this matchup, probably.
Yeah.